I want to start this video off with something I don't do in reviews. I want to thank the Ottawa Senators. I want to thank the Ottawa Senators for being a very hard-working team. For the fact that, and I've mentioned this in videos before, where there's a ton of games on, and I watch the Sens, and I'm like, I'm not sure what it is that's making me watch the Ottawa Senators. And I thought, is it because it's a train wreck? No, they're not really getting blown out. So even in games they were losing, they were playing well. And there's a lot of hard work here. And for any team that's struggling, you can watch the Sens and see how you need to play if you want to win. Tonight they went into Montreal, and I'll be darned, they came out of tonight with a victory. The Habs were out shooting the Sens, and that's understating it in that first period. And I thought a scoreless tie pressured the Habs, and I think there was some of that went on. And I put this on the board twice. Senators rope-a-dope. And so in the first, I'm thinking, Montreal's really punching themselves out here in the first period. And that's what a rope-a-dope is. So if you've ever heard that phrase, it's what Muhammad Ali did. Back in, it was the Rumble in the Jungle, I believe, that he did that against George Foreman. I'm pretty sure it was George Foreman he was fighting against. And he just let him punch himself out. And then, of course, every Rocky movie copied that from then on. Just watch Rocky 3. If you don't have patience to watch a real boxing match, just watch Rocky 3. And, hit me again, come on. And it's like he'd kill him. But I got the feeling that that's what the Senators were. And I'm not trying to say this is necessarily on purpose, but it's not the first time I've seen them do this. Where a team will get a ton of shots, and they go, all right, well, our goaltender's going to hold us together. And the other team just gets frustrated. The Habs got a power play with 49.6 seconds left. And then early in that second period, it scored. Suzuki from Dano and Petrie at 44 seconds. So it's an early lead for Montreal. And this is one of those quick straight goals they were getting quite often a couple weeks ago. The Senators tried to answer immediately. But the shots at that point were more than 3-1 in favor of the Montreal Canadiens. So again, I think it was like 18-5 at that point. You're looking at this and you're saying, well, this is a mismatch. And the Habs were really trying to do their best for more. And then Pajot scored from Ennis and Borowiecki at 9:56. I put rope-a-dope on the board again because I'm like, all right, so this is it then, right? This is where they start punching back. And that's the 10th goal in November for Pajot. Alfredson has the record in a month, and that was in November as well for an Ottawa Senator, and that was 13. So Pajot can absolutely get there. Who thought Jean-Gabriel Pajot could hit the record for the most goals in a month for Ottawa? I don't even think Jean-Gabriel Pajot would put his hand up for that one. The Habs are still way ahead in shots. There was a 3-on-1 for the Senators that missed the net, but it felt like the crowd got taken out of it. The crowd wanted something to cheer for, and as soon as Ottawa scored, I don't know, Montreal crowd just went really, really quiet. Maybe that's just their nature, but they went really, really quiet. Ennis then had a breakaway that was denied. Anderson held the fort with the last seconds. There was an icing that the Senators didn't think should have been an icing, so they weren't happy about it. It stood as an icing. Sometimes you can argue with the ref, and the ref's like, yeah, we'll put that face off at center ice. You're right. It's our bad. Didn't happen in this case, but Craig Anderson holds the fort. Third period, and I put Senators could steal another game. This is another one of those games that you look at in the first period, and if there's a lot of games on, you would look at this one and go, well, they're not going to win this one. You can't win them all. And, if you're the Senators, you're probably going to lose. That's just the way it's going to work. There was a power play for the Senators at 9:51, and I put, can they? With some dots after that and after the question mark. No. The Sens, their power play is gloriously pathetic. It is. And you know what? Own it. Own it. Own that it is gloriously pathetic. Own it that you can't score a goal on the power play. And maybe that's part of the appeal, that when they have an extra guy in the ice, they're like, we're not going to score. Maybe that's part of the whole rope-a-dope strategy. Team goes, all right, well, we killed that off. How are we losing? How do we lose this one? And the Habs were being held off by Craig Anderson, especially late in that third period. I thought he did very, very well. But the Senators' game improved as it went along. So the shots started to kind of even out. And it was like the Senators, one or two things. Either they were slow to wake up tonight, Or once the third period started and they looked on the board, they went, we can go for this. We can win this. And maybe Montreal squeezing their sticks a little bit harder. Who knows? Third period ends. We go to overtime, and I said the Sens are improving on the road, which they are. Their road record came into today at, I believe, 3-7-1. Not great, but they win tonight. As Anderson denied Gallagher. Goes to the other end of the ice. We know what happens. Tkachuk from Tierney and Zaitsev at 37 seconds. And it was a defensive miscue by the Montreal Canadiens that set this up. I believe it was Tatar that was back. He thought Suzuki was going to be with him. Suzuki wasn't. And it was one of those speed moves by Tkachuk. And yeah, Brady Tkachuk doesn't get denied. He gets the winner. And the Senators eke out a 2-1 win in overtime. They continue to put up wins. They now have a good number of wins in comparison with other Ontario teams. I'm not going to name them. Anderson saved 35 out of 36. Price saved 22 out of 24. Your 3 stars are Tkachuk, Anderson, and Suzuki. Power plays, Ottawa goes 0 for 3. Montreal was 1 for 1. Your shots are 12-3 Montreal in the first, 14-11 Montreal in the second. So it did even out. And then 9-9 in the third, and in overtime, both teams got 1 shot. Anderson saved, Price didn't. Final shots 36-24 in favor of Montreal. So Carey Price loses on back-to-back nights. I don't know. Maybe they should have had Kincaid in there. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think it would have made a difference because they still only got 1 goal. So, yeah, we can start the conversation about whether or not Montreal's offense was adversely affected tonight by the loss of Drouin, or if this is just a matter of, well, there was that one play in the third where Kotkaniemi probably should have shot the puck and didn't. There's a lot of that going on with Jesperi Kotkaniemi right now where you look and you go, okay, he should have shot there, and he's not. It's a confidence thing, I believe. He needs a goal or two to get that confidence going, but you have to take shots to get the goals because that's kind of the rules. All right. The other game of the night was Washington and the Rangers. You want a surprise? Here you go. But this is a feud that looks fantastic, and yet these teams don't meet each other again until after Valentine's Day, middle of February, so that's too bad. Holtby stopped Howden. The referee then took a puck in the face. It's always scary when anybody takes a puck in the face. Referee took one. And it seemed like it was a tentative start for both teams, back and forth. The scoring chances were 5 for each team at 13 minutes into the game. So, some decent scoring chances, both goalies standing up and doing pretty darn well. Holtby made some nice saves late. Kuznetsov was robbed by Lundqvist, and the Caps hit the crossbar. That was their third near miss. I think they ended up with 4 or 5 crossbars on the night. And that really is the storyline for the Caps tonight. They had their chances, just couldn't get them inside the net. So in the second period, 1 minute and 14 seconds into the second period, Panarin scores from Kakko and Fox on the power play. So that Kakko kid is a pretty good player. Holtby then denied the Rangers at 6 minutes and 30 seconds. The Caps go to the power play at 7 minutes and 2 seconds. Lots of posts, crossbars. That was their 4th for the Capitals. And I thought Holtby's positioning was really good and it kept the Rangers to just the 1 goal. So they didn't really have much net to shoot at in the second period. And Malenstein, I'm sorry if I spelled that wrong. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Malenstein was denied by Lundqvist. I thought it for, or Sundqvist. No, Lundqvist. I was right the first time. His, I might be kind of tired today. Malenstein, I thought for being his first game, he looked pretty good. So we'll see if this kid sticks around, if Todd Reardon likes him, or if he ends up just being up for a couple games. Everybody gets healthy, and out you go. Holtby then stopped Lemieux. Lemieux would come up on this board again before the game's over. Ovechkin took a penalty in 1952, which led to a Rangers power play. Starting the third period, that power play is still in effect. They killed that. But then Orlov takes a penalty. So some lack of discipline by Washington there, and the Rangers make them pay. It is Panarin scoring from Kakko and Strome at 3:57. That's right, Kakko with his second helper of the game. So Panarin with 2 goals, Kakko with 2 assists, and I think they've found a formula for the Rangers on the power play that works. Buchnevich scores 23 seconds later. Buchnevich from Hedel and Lemieux at 4:20, and that's where I put up wheels have fallen off for the Caps. The wheels definitely had fallen off for the Caps, and that was a tough break. Because up until that, 23 seconds, the game looked pretty good. Looked probably was going to be pretty close right down to the wire, and then it wasn't. However, on a power play. Kuznetsov scores from Carlson at 7:24. That tightens things up a little bit. And Tom Wilson decided, all right, I'm going to get involved here. I'm going to do my thing. Hathaway's out. I'm going to channel Hathaway. He was chirping the Rangers and said something to Brendan Lemieux about going to sleep. Or putting him to sleep. Now, I'm not sure if he meant, like, go to sleep, like, just, I'll make you have a nap on the ice, or put you to sleep like pets when they go to that wonderful doggy heaven. I'm not sure which one he meant, but he was chirping pretty good. The Rangers were chirping back, and he and Lemieux don't like each other very much. Go ahead, pretend you're surprised. Howden then got a goal from Buchnevich and Kreider at 13:34, and that signals that it's punching time for Tom Wilson. Wilson, who had already had a couple of hits in this game, and the Rangers had some hits as well that the Caps didn't like. So Wilson and Lemieux figure, all right, we're going to fight, and then I probably go to sleep. Like, they showed, before they went to commercial, they showed Wilson. They didn't show Lemieux, so I thought, did he go to sleep? Did he put him to sleep? Did he do it? Did he do what he said he was going to do? This is Tom Wilson. If anybody can put a guy out on the ice, now that would be a chokehold, so I don't encourage that in hockey, but if anybody was going to do it, it could be Wilson. The Caps went to the power play, and they pulled their goalie with 3.5 minutes left, approximately 3.5 minutes, down 3 goals, and there was lots of chippy play late. Ovechkin with a thunderous hit on Howden. Howden took a lot of physical punishment tonight, and Trouba decided he had enough of that garbage, and he let Ovechkin know. So it is a shame these teams don't play like next week or something, because the hatred is really, really strong between the two. But your final score is 4-1 for the Rangers. Holtby saves 27 out of 31. With his 454th win, Henrik Lundqvist ties Curtis Joseph for 5th on the all-time wins list. Somewhere somebody's going, hey, Fleury's right behind him. We know. 3 stars are Panarin, Lundqvist, and Kakko. The Capitals go 1 for 3. The Rangers go 2 for 3. The shots were 10 apiece in the first period. Like I said, very evenly played first period. The Capitals actually outshot them 14-9 in the second, and then in the third, the Rangers outshot them 12-7 and kind of took over. But your final shots at the end of the night are 31 apiece. So the Rangers get a much-needed victory. We'll see if this one leads to better results for them in coming weeks, and we'll see if the Capitals bounce back from this one in their next game. They don't play tomorrow night. I don't think any of these teams play tomorrow night. I'm already getting boards ready for tomorrow because 13 games. But then Friday's nice and quiet, and then Saturday, 14 games. So, gotta love that. Anyways, let me know what you guys thought of these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support, and I will talk to you again soon.